Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about The Mystery of the Bitten Peach by Cecilia Tan. The Mystery of the Bitten Peach is the latest novella from Neon Hemlock. It is the concluding volume of the novella series number 6, so keep your eyes out soon for the crowdfund for the novella series number 7. I always love backing this campaign. I get novellas throughout the year, and that's such a treat. Just boom, 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 mail all year long. This really is the, idea of pre-ordering being a gift to your future self. It's always such a great series. The novellas are such a treat. And I've had such a marvelous time here with The Mystery of the Bitten Peach, which was a bit of a surprise. This was not originally on the schedule, but was slotted in here at the end of the season, and what a treat it was, too. It's the story of May, a young woman who was an adoptee from the Chinese mainland to America in the 90s, or I guess, she came over in the mid-70s, late 70s, because she's a college-aged student in the 1990s in the US, and has a complicated relationship with her diaspora culture. She was raised by a white mother after her Chinese father passed away, and we get this wonderful interplay of dealing with being in this cultural gray area and not really knowing how to fit in to different sorts of culture and perception, and how to build an identity around that. And part of how May builds her identity is that she is a magical time traveler. She can yeet herself cosmically at sunset and sunrise, at these transitional times of the day, to places that feel Chinese. And so she's going to historical periods in China, going to Chinatowns in the 2030s here in the US, in the 70s in the Philippines, in San Francisco, just sort of all around. And part of what she does, especially when she's traveling back to these historical periods, is she procures antiques. So things that, were very common in their time, hard to come by now. Take any old thing that you can get on the shelf today, and in 500 years, that's going to be a lot rarer and a lot more valuable. And so she brings these to Quan, a antique store dealer who has his own mysterious past. And when we enter into this novella, we have the titular Mystery of the Bitten Peach. A carving of a jade peach has been taken from the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. This peach has a legend associated with it. It's tied to the folkloric tradition of Chinese homosexuality, and the legend around this is that if someone were to give this jade stone peach to their true love, it would be transformed and become a peach of immortality, and they would be together forever. And this has been stolen. We don't really know who has stolen it or why, whether this is for homophobic reasons, as a way of suppressing the history of homosexuality in Chinese culture by CCP members or by American right-wingers. It's all sort of in a haze, but fortunately May is able to go back to when the peach was made and snag it for herself so that it can end up back in the museum, and nobody will look too closely into how this peach disappeared. Here in the past, we have this, artist for magician, old man yaoi going on as well. All of these entangled relationships of people wanting but not being quite sure that they can get what they want. and this wishing that May has for her own sort of unresolved and as of yet unrealized sapphic desire, her own lesbian yearnings that get tied up with a woman who sort of brought her into her Chinese culture as she was first beginning to find her identity, and with Sandra, the curator of this exhibit at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, who is a very self-actualized and fully, embodied lesbian herself. And so we have this wonderful blend of tentativeness and identity building tied in with some really lush historical scenes, a funky little mystery plot, and just a grand old time. Really something that I think folks who love what we do here on Bar Cart Bookshelf are going to want to check out. And if you buy directly from Neon Hemlock, you'll get these super cool spreads. So that's pretty amazing. There we go. Primo stuff. And so we had to have a drink. Our drink today is the Dragon's Daughter, and we'll begin with, not with this bottle, with some unlabeled bottles. Don't worry, I'll tell you what they are. So we have here 2 ounces of Lapsang Souchong tea. This is a black tea that has been smoked. We have one of these teas that Kwan serves to May as this wonderful smoky tea, probably something very like a Lapsang Souchong. It's a tea that I really love for bringing that really rich, sort of heady smokiness. It's beautifully fragrant, and it's going to just bring a wonderful bit of body to our mocktail. This one is a mocktail. And to that, we will add 1 ounce of peach shrub. Of course, we have to have our peach shrub. This is a fruit syrup made with peaches and vinegar. Helps to preserve the flavors of the fruit, adding that sweetness, that tang, that bite of the vinegar, and that wonderful summery sweetness that we can enjoy here, even though it is not yet peach season. Just as the peach shrub allows us to enjoy things out of time, so does May's gift allow her to experience this disjunct of time. Then we'll add a couple of dashes of cardamom bitters, something that's going to add a bit of bitterness, a bit of herbal quality, but not too heavy. Cardamom bitters generally a little bit lighter than other sorts of aromatic bitters. They have that like green cardamom quality to them as well. That nice spiced, but not too heavy. Not the same way that, you get the cinnamon clove allspice weight of an Angostura, per se. So we'll get all of these liquid ingredients in there, and then we'll add our ice. We always add our ice last, especially when we're dealing with figures from immortal Chinese folklore, and we'll give that a stir. And we're going to want to stir until the... Got a little ant on me, my goodness. We're going to want to stir until the ice and the liquid are roughly in equilibrium. We do not want a little ant in our mocktail, not even for the extra protein. No thank you, we'll pass. So give that a nice solid stir. Lovely. And set that aside for just a moment, because we are going to get some crushed ice down into our glass here. Perfect. And just a little bit. We're not going to fill it all the way to the brim, but once we've got some crushed ice in an old-fashioned glass, tap there. Beautiful. Pop that. And as you can see, we still have some space left in our glass. One of the really cool scenes is when May travels back to this sort of 1970s Chinatown in the Philippines and has this lychee on crushed ice drink. And so I have here a lychee soda that we're going to top our mocktail with. So this I found at Trader Joe's. I'm sure that if you can't find a Trader Joe's in your area, there are some wonderful Asian markets where you can find a comparable or even better lychee soda. So, there we have it. This is The Dragon's Daughter, inspired by The Mystery of the Bitten Peach by Cecilia Tan. The Mystery of the Bitten Peach is available now from Neon Hemlock. I've got a link to snag it in the description down below, as well as a link to purchase my book, Cocktails and Consoles, 75 Cocktails and Mocktails to Level Up Your Game Night, and the latest anthology from Neon Hemlock, Shatter the Sun, which is coming very, very soon. I have a short story in it, The Peacock Wizard and the Cave of the Serpent Queen. Keep your eyes peeled for that. I think y'all are really going to dig it. And for the crowdfund for the Series 7 of the Neon Hemlock novella series. So psyched about that coming up soon. We've got links to various forms of social media, including Blue Sky and Instagram, where there is always a written version of today's recipe. Try the drink. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit that like button. It makes me so happy when you do. Subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss an episode. And until next time, cheers.